Hi, Astro friends. I just came back from a beautiful long walk along the water and a bit in the park. So the Sagittarius moon lends itself to walking out, going into spaciousness and movement and freedom, right? So I'm pretty chill right now. You might notice that in my recording today. Let's see how it goes. Yes, it is quite the week. It's the retro record week of the year. What do I mean by that? This week, just for 3 days, is the window when 6 planets are retrograde. That's between October 9th, when Jupiter goes retro, and October the 11th, when Pluto leaves retro. And then there will be 5 planets retro and still 4 to 5 until the end of the year. So we're not out of that mode, but now it really culminates. And since Jupiter and Pluto are both in turnaround mode, forward to retro for Jupiter, retro to forward for Pluto, they are stationary and they are quite a focal point. Their energy, their archetypal themes are very much on the forefront this month. With Jupiter, especially in Gemini, it's a lot about information. There's so much out there, so many debates, so much controversy, so much duality, so much to know or not, right? So much information, so much we could tap into, and then there's more questions. That is Gemini. So it could also go into repetitive stories of what we already know and need to actually back off from, because what happens is we're getting overwhelmed. This is too much of a good thing. With Jupiter, Jupiter retrograde says also retreat from all the outer buzz and find meaning within, find wisdom, find the voice of inner guidance, and also perhaps rewrite your story. This is the title I'm giving the article I'm just writing for Jupiter retro in Gemini. Jupiter will be retrograde until the 4th of February. It goes typically these years September to January, October to February retrograde, and the rest of the year direct. So it's not unusual, but it is a shift of so many outer events, and now they're turning inward. As I said, it's very prone to inner journeys, maybe also preparation for outer journeys, and definitely for finding meaning, seeing the bigger picture without engaging so much in the outer noise. Then we have Pluto coming out of retrograde on the 11th. That's Friday. And going for the very last time direct while in Capricorn, because Pluto will leave Capricorn on the 19th of November to finally go fully into Aquarius until 2043-44. So this is now the center point of the last phase of Pluto in Capricorn, which started on September 1st. And there can be still quite a bit of wrap up regarding the old world, the old empire, old shadow phenomena of the of structures that are destructive, like especially military, industrial, and pharmaceutical complex, right, and media complex, right? So all of that has taken charge, that has put itself into powerful positions. We are seeing now what's behind those, and a lot of that is being dismantled as things are being revealed. And is humanity ready? That's the question for Pluto in Aquarius. Humanity ready to move forward beyond these old structures, matrices, hierarchies, empires, and so on, as Pluto will enter fully Aquarius. And interestingly, of course, it also goes over the US election. So the US also have their last phase of their Pluto return, because their Pluto is end of Capricorn. And we're seeing a lot of unraveling coming up now down the border. Yes, and Pluto going forward. So Pluto can also help us when Pluto goes forward to be the change, to really make changes in our world that are honoring who we are, right? With Capricorn, honoring our experience, honoring what really works for us, honoring our time, our resources, and not wasting them and not exploiting them and not being subject to disempowering situations in that regard. I will write an article for Pluto forwarding Capricorn as well. It's quite a busy week. So yes, as I said, this is the window of maximum retros, and you might feel that energy goes really well together also with the inward turning of autumn, of October. Yes, a lot of reflection, gear shifting, and so on. What else is going on this week? Let me look at my cheat sheet here. Yes, we are now also shifting in the Libra season from the second decade, the second 10 degrees and days of Libra, October 2nd to 12th, to the third and last, October 12th to 22nd. And that one will have a Gemini undertone. This one currently has an Aquarius undertone. So the Aquarius Libra connection is all about social justice, fairness, balance for all. And the Gemini Libra dynamic is about the art and science of relationship and communication. Just a few pointers here, right? So of course, there's many layers that play out with all these astrodynamics. As I said, there's the decanates, there's a lunar cycle that I will talk about shortly, and then there's all the transits and the full moons, new moons, and so on. Yes, we are also in eclipse season. We are now between the annular solar eclipse in Libra, mid-Libra with Aquarius undertone of October 2nd to the next supermoon on October 17th, which is a pseudo eclipse, which is an almost eclipse. Since the moon will be end of Aries, the sun end of Libra, while the nodes are early Aries, early Libra. So they're not close enough, sun and moon are not close enough to the nodes to form a total or partial eclipses, but they're still in the same energy field. So I would count them as energetically pseudo eclipses. In other words, the full moon, the supermoon that comes in Aries with Chiron. I show you a quick preview of that. More about that next week. Look at that. It's not just a full moon. It's not just an eclipse. It's also a grand cross. Okay, let me just here. Right, grand cardinal cross of the sun in Libra, the moon in Aries with Chiron, Mars in Cancer, and Pluto in Capricorn. So there's a lot coming down here, and I will get to that in my writings and next week in the video, as I said. But what I wanted to point out today is just that dynamic between sun and moon. Sorry. Between sun and moon. So the moon comes with Aries. The moon in Aries comes with Chiron and Aries, E-R-I-S. So there needs to be, this is such a pointer that needs to be healing for warfare and for the origins of war. Aries is a warrior energy, but it's also about origins and early wounds with Chiron, right? So how do wars begin? With division, with discord. Aries, the goddess and asteroid, is the goddess of division. She seeded division because she was annoyed for not being invited to a wedding and she instigated the Trojan War. So what starts wars? We need to start also within in our own lives, and also of course in the bigger scheme of planet Earth and humanity being involved in all these unjustified, unfair wars that so from a Libra side disrupt the peace, disrupt cultures, destroy cultures, right? And so there's also Pluto end of Capricorn involved in that eclipse. And that shows, yes, the corporations, the bigger industrial complex, especially the military, benefits from it. But that can't go on like this. This is so not sustainable. And also Mars in Cancer will be involved. So it's really, yeah, countries, people, tribes, families, children, so much violence, right? And Mars will actually also go retrograde in early December till end of February. So that will be also an interesting time for unraveling and retreating of the warrior. What else is going on this week? Let's unravel that first, right? So moon wise, we have the moon now in Sag. I said I was out on a hike, not on a hike, on a walk, but it's beautiful energy today, tomorrow, with the moon in Sagittarius to be out and about, but also to find your truth and come back into your heart and meaning, direction, inspiration, fun and joy, right? All of that is also very Sagittarian. Trust the journey is very Sagittarian. Then the moon goes into Capricorn on Wednesday the 9th at 2:38 a.m. Will be in Capricorn on Thursday the 10th and until the morning of October 11th, which is the day when Pluto in Capricorn goes retrograde, right? So the energy really shifts with that lunar shift into Capricorn, because then things become more serious, more grounded also, and more realistic, right? Now we're more in the realm of possibilities. This is also interesting that the moon is in Sag, while Jupiter, the ruler of Sag, goes retrograde, right? And then it's in Capricorn when Pluto in Capricorn goes forward, right? So it reinforces the themes. Things really shift with Capricorn. So down to the drawing board, back to the drawing board, back to what really works for simplicity and calm energy also, right? Grounded energy, mature energy, and back to the ancestors and elders and to the land, right? All of that is Capricorn. Then the moon will go into Aquarius on the 11th on Friday morning at 9:31 a.m. We'll be in Aquarius all day Saturday and on Sunday until 1 p.m., 12:55. That's a great energy for community, friendship, socially, being socially out there and about. It's also Libra season, of course, right? I plan to do a few things on the weekend with at least one friend and in community, very apropos. And then the moon goes into Pisces on Sunday, 12:55 p.m. Pacific, and we'll be in Pisces all day Monday, which is Canadian Thanksgiving, and of course Indigenous Peoples Day. Important to have that aspect of the of honoring this day really also present, because Thanksgiving, the Canadian, in a way linked also to the US, I believe, is a rather colonial holiday, right? So we want to see the two sides of the picture. involved as we are moving towards more and more truth and reconciliation and social justice, right, with between people. And then the moon will be in Pisces, as I said, on the 14th and still on the 15th until the mid-afternoon. Pisces is all about union, is about connection. So for Thanksgiving, if you're with family, with friends, really be relaxed, connect, and yeah, let go of possible, division, resentment. Honor the unity and the connection, while also having good boundaries, right? Because the moon will be also close to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. This is also where we need to honor what comes into our energy field. And what else is going on that day? The sun will square Mars. So it's quite a busy day, the 14th. The sun in Libra will square Mars in Cancer. So there can be a real conflict, in fact, in tribes, in the house, in family. So again, it's also sort of a conflict in terms of um, a dilemma, right, between personal needs and then also being civil, being considerate, and looking at the bigger um, connection between people. Relationships are important, and maybe some of your needs really clash with those, right? So diplomacy and negotiation, and rather than versus asserting and addressing really what your vital needs are, right? Then also on that day, Venus in Scorpio. Venus is now in the last phase, coming to the last phase of Scorpio, will enter Sag on the 17th. So Venus end of Scorpio will oppose Uranus retrograde in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. So that also on Thanksgiving the 14th will can also bring up dilemmas in relationships and personal relationships, in any relationship around freedom, right? So freedom is important. No, we don't want to be manipulated. That can be a shadow of Venus in Scorpio, but at the same time, we want to go deep. We want to have intimacy with people, but not as a bond that traps you, right? And Uranus and Taurus really wants us to embody freedom, also to experiment with different ways of relating to one another, and to follow also our senses, right? So, and with Scorpio, follow our sixth sense and our gut instinct as well. Relationships. What else is on this week? Yeah, Mercury also makes a move. Mercury will go into Scorpio on the 13th. So I'm going back one day. Mercury on the 13th will first square Pluto, which is freshly out of retro, right, from the 11th on. And then soon afterwards, a few hours later, will go into Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto. So there's a few double whammies, right? A few mutual receptions, they're called, right? Themes repeat themselves. This Mercury-Pluto theme, Mercury in Libra, end of Libra, is again making choices, making good choices that are well considered, and choices, of course, once you make it, you're diving into the change, into the transformation that comes from that choice. And the choice here, right, is also about going deeper, maybe looking behind the scenes, like with Pluto going into Scorpio until November 2nd, November 2nd, going over Halloween, All Saints, All Souls, with Moon in Scorpio, with Mercury in Scorpio, perfect. So this is also to dive into the big mysteries of life and death, and to what's behind the veil into mystery, magic, all of this. And Mercury sometimes also literally affects the weather. With Scorpio, typically Scorpio season. Here on the West Coast, the rain is starting, is kicking in. I don't want to predict anything in that regard, but could well be. And yeah, intimacy, right? Mercury in Scorpio wants intimate conversations. And as I said, also looking behind the veil and revealing what might have been hidden and covered. It could be also great to actually find hidden treasures, right? While you're doing some autumn clearing and cleaning. And yeah, that's about it for today. I want to stop here and continue with my writing for Jupiter going retrograde. I wish you a beautiful evening and week, and greet you here from beautiful Victoria as the sun is coming out, the evening sun is coming out, and yeah, have a beautiful week, everybody. And yeah, I want to say also, lastly, almost forgot, I have this offer on at this point. If you'd like to take me up on it, relationships, right? I talked a lot about relationships in this little clip. And relationship sessions are currently in Libra season until the 22nd of October, 11% discounted. And we can do this session in person or online, either way. And the offer is on my Facebook page, or also you would see it if you are a subscriber to my Astro News newsletter. So, wishing you well and hope to see you again soon in real life, maybe surprisingly or intentionally in a session. And have a good one again. Bye.